reason that we are at the Pittsburgh Police headquarters is because this is the office of Chief Nate Harper. The day after the Department of Justice announced their decision, the Office of Municipal Investigation released a report which allowed the Pittsburgh Police to reinstate the 3 officers back to work. At that time, Chief Nate Harper came out and made a statement to all of you, to all of us. And in his statement, he stated that the lesson that we should take away from this is that it was a teachable moment, meaning that you should learn. It is a teachable moment for young people not to run when the police officers tell you to stop. A teachable moment. I don't think that is the message that we want to send to our youth in the community.
Not at all. No.
I don't think that was a statement that was warranted at a time when the community was hurting.
Right.
He also stated that there was no wrongdoing found from the actions of these 3 police officers. No wrongdoing whatsoever. And we are here because, one, the police lied. They both faced lied in court, and that is why the charges were dismissed against Jordan. They both faced lied to us, and it is the chief's job to fire or to reprimand his employees, which are the police officers. We understand also that there is a chain of command. We're not stupid. We understand that the mayor is the head of it all.
Yes.
The mayor sends a message to the public director of safety, which is Michael Huss.
Yes.
Michael Huss sends the message to Chief Nate Harper. We understand that there's a chain of command, but we also understand that we would like to have a chief that has the courage to stand in the face of lies, to stand in the face of corruption, and do his job. Regardless of what the mayor said, regardless of what OMI claimed to find, and regardless of what the director of safety, Michael Huss, said, it is clear that there was wrongdoing here. And it is up to the chief to stand up, to find the heart, to stand up, and to do his job, and to let them know that. And so we are here to let him know that. We want him to do his job. He has the power today, to fire all 3 police officers. Just as the DA has the power today to charge all 3 police officers. So we are here because we would like them fired, and we would like them charged for what they did and prosecuted for the crime that they committed against Jordan Miles. As you can see, if you have not ever seen him in person, he is not a large individual. We are talking about 3 grown men who combined weighed more than 600 pounds. As you can see, he is not a large individual. There is no reason, no justification for the excess of force that was used on him. So those police officers are not just accountable for crime, they are accountable for what they did to him from the police chief. He needs to hold them accountable for what they did in their job. And so the message is, it is okay. The message is, that is the way we train our police officers to act in such a case. And if you are not familiar with some of the facts of the case, I will remind you, and I will remind you every time I speak, because I need you to understand what Jordan was facing. I need you to understand what really happened, because they're not releasing any report. We can't see a report from the Department of Justice. We can't see a report from our own city. So we have no idea what is going on in all of these secret investigations. We have no idea as the people in the community what they found. They did not make a statement and say why there was no wrongdoing. They did not make a statement to help us understand, because there is no truth. There is no understanding. The only thing that we understand is holding them accountable approximately 11 o'clock, it's dark, in Homewood, Jordan's 4 doors up from his home. He walks out of his house, as he does every day, and goes to his grandmother's house every day. He walks out of his house to go to his grandmother's house. A car screeches up in a hurry. He turns and he runs. As he runs, it is snowing. He slips and he falls on the ground, which is, at that point, he is on the ground before any one police officer encounters him. On the ground. Are you a threat? On the ground. At that point is when they jump on him. There are 3 of them. They could have sat on him. There was no reason for them to brutally beat him. And not only did they beat him, they also ripped his hair from the roots of his head. And I will ask all of you right now to put a clump of your hair in your hand and just pull. Just pull. Just pull a little bit. Can you imagine being ripped from the roots of your head? And we're talking about thick dreadlocks. If that is not excessive, I don't know what is. There is no reason. There was no reason for it. And for him to have to subdue so much, and then to be told that he was done no wrong. For him to have to subdue so much, and then to be told that there will be nothing done to the people that did that to you. Nothing done to the people that did that to you. So I don't know what the city expects from us at this time. I don't know how they expect us to respond. I don't know how they expect us to feel. And I don't know what they expect us to do. But I will tell them what we will not do is sit down and accept this. What we will not do is allow this to continue in our city. In Pittsburgh, it will not happen. I don't care what goes on anywhere else. It will not happen here. And I ask that we all remain peaceful. We all remain peaceful because that is who we are and that is what we are about. And we are not them. We are not monsters. We are not evil. We want justice. That's all we want is justice. Our first speaker will be Mr. Mark Ozark, who has been by my side since day one of this fight, who is very upset about what the city allows and very sincere about his position. Mark Ozark from the Black and White Reunion.
Switch sides, Brandi.
Turn yourself. Are you going to hold it? No. You want me to hold it?
May I have that sign I was looking for, please?
Oh. All right. I'm hoping somebody will come and hold it. All right, you stand a little bit in front so it doesn't feed
It's tangled up, Peter.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you. My name is Mark Ozark. I'm a delegate. I'm a delegate from the Black and White Reunion to the Alliance for Police Accountability. Today, I'm here to advocate in favor of law enforcement excellence. Here's a poster, a picture of Jordan Miles in the hospital after being beaten by 3 police officers. This is a quote from Fraternal Order of Police President O'Hara from the Post-Gazette. It says the police were doing what they were trained to do. That's what they were trained to do. That is not law enforcement excellence. This beating could have been and should have been treated as a punishable incident of serious police misconduct and criminality. That would have been law enforcement excellence. Instead, the law enforcement establishment, bowing to the Fraternal Order of Police, has told us that this is a proud example of proper Pittsburgh police procedure, worthy of commendation and a year's paid vacation. Chief Harper called it that teachable moment for young people. That is not law enforcement excellence. In December, FOP Vice President Hanlon tried to blame the Pittsburgh murder rate on Jordan Miles. That is not enforcement excellence. A couple of weeks ago, Pittsburgh Chief of Police Nathan Harper joined a protest and spoke against National Rifle Association policy during their convention here. That was law enforcement excellence, and we can recognize that. But a week later, Chief Harper reinstated the police who beat Jordan Miles and made some very bizarre and disgusting statements. That was not law enforcement excellence. Chief Harper is as wrong as the NRA. This beating is an important example of the reasons the NRA opposes any form of gun control, even the most moderate policies that would save innocent lives. Dominated by the Fraternal Order of Police, law enforcement has forsaken its mission and become just another gang. For more than a year, we in the Alliance for Police Accountability have shouted to law enforcement, protect innocent people from this. Jail the thugs within your ranks and get rid of those who support them. That would be law enforcement excellence.
Yeah.
Law enforcement and the chief have failed. In secret proceedings, Pittsburgh Law Enforcement's Office of Municipal Investigations has apparently condoned, thank you, police frightening innocent children and then arresting and beating them for being afraid. In other secret proceedings, Mr. Hickton's federal law enforcement has decided that it doesn't have the stomach to oppose the Fraternal Order of Police. Same old Justice Department. 50 years ago this month, they didn't have the stomach to support the Freedom Riders against the Klan and Jim Crow. They let the Freedom Riders be beaten, just like Jordan Miles. The secret deals in the Jordan Miles case are bricks in the blue gang's wall of silence. They also seem, at their center, to have white hoods. White neighborhoods, white hoodlum hoods, and white racist hoods. Failing to address these concerns publicly and with solid evidence is not law enforcement excellence.
No.
Back then in the 60s, it took a new administration to ram the Civil Rights and Voting Rights Acts down the Klan's throat. Pittsburgh is a little behind. 50 years after the Freedom Riders, Pittsburgh needs a new administration and a Police Accountability Act. That would be law enforcement excellence. Now we, the people, turn to District Attorney Stephen Zappala. Mr. Zappala, put the matter in criminal court where the public can see what juries decide with no secrets.
Yeah.
That would be law enforcement excellence. Mr. Zappala, openly and fully prosecute the police officers who beat Jordan Miles and then testified falsely in Magistrate Petit's hearing. Where are those Mountain Dew bottles? That would be law enforcement excellence. Mr. Zappala, begin and continue cleansing this system of its thugs. That system. That would be law enforcement excellence. Therese Miles' son was an honor student at Kappa and played viola for the First Lady of the United States. And he was valued like this. He was valued like this. Mr. Zappala, what will you tell the mothers, fathers, and grandparents of Allegheny County about the value of their children? Stand up with us, sir, for law enforcement excellence. Thank you.
Law enforcement excellence. White hoods. Invisible white hoods. I agree with that, totally. I was asked if I thought that the act on Jordan Miles was racist. I was asked if I thought racism played a part in what happened. My answer was that racism plagues our world, period. And since the police are people, I'm sure we have some racist police officers. But I take a position that police brutality has moved more from being about race to being about power.
That's right.
And I think our police think that they have some sort of power over the people, that they are superior to the people, that they are at war with the people. They come out in our streets as if they are going to Iraq. They come out into our streets when they are paid and sworn to protect and serve and bully and harass. And that, to me, has to be stopped. That is what has to be stopped. The daily harassment, the daily stopping, the daily, because that is why Jordan Miles went through what he went through. If they would not have stopped him, which they had no reason to, no reason at all. They had no reason to stop him. If they would not be allowed to run through our neighborhoods and stop any black male at whim that they see walking down the street, this would not happen. That is called racial profiling. Our police also need diversity training. They need to understand the people in the communities that they serve. You cannot serve people that you do not understand. You cannot serve a culture of people and you have no clue what they deal with, what they go through, how they think, or how they feel. Our police officers need diversity training. We can't have all white police officers in all black neighborhoods. That's not going to work. Especially not now. Especially not now. And that is why we're here. That is why I am here. Because the community should not have to live in fear from the police. The community have to live in fear from the police and the criminals now. Jordan Miles has to walk out of his door and take that same walk to his grandmother's house and relive this every day. Every day. He has to take that same walk and relive this. He has to walk out of his door and worry about the police and the criminals. I don't want my children going through that. And I'm sure you don't want your children going through that. And I'm sure Therese doesn't want her son going through that. So if the DA would stand up and show the community that our children will not have to go through that, because our police will be held accountable for their actions when they have gross misconduct, then and only then we can begin healing. Our next speaker will be Ms. Nazura Ish from Sankofa Community Empowerment.
Can everybody hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Real close. Okay. A few days ago, Sankofa Community Empowerment has been in Pittsburgh for 10 years, and we are a grassroots African American organization that are for injustices in the community. And somebody asked us, where do we stand on police brutality and injustice? And I strictly stated that we were about black unity, that we were about injustices, justice against one is injustice against all, and that we were trying to really, organize and mobilize African Americans to get out their houses. I want to actually introduce my elder mentor, Renee Wilson, a sister that actually introduced me to police brutality 8 years ago, and she first introduced me to the Michael Ellerby case from Uniontown. So I want to introduce Renee Wilson.
My name is Renee Wilson. My name is Renee Wilson, and I walk these streets for Damian Jordan, Charles Dixon, Michael Ellerby, and Johnny Gambit.
Yes.
This has been a problem in Pittsburgh for a very long time.
Yes, it is.
And it is a black problem because most of the victims here are black men. It's a problem in Pittsburgh. It's a problem everywhere. Brandi, you were saying something about they're acting like Iraq. That the police is acting like Iraq. Well, they got orders like Iraq. There was executive orders passed by Bill Clinton to give the police the opportunity, if they feel that they are threatened, they are allowed to use any force they want to use against you. And until we do something about the orders that are passed, we're going to always have this problem. This is nationwide. It's not just Pittsburgh. I'm in Atlanta. It's in Atlanta too. It's in Chicago. It's in Detroit. It's everywhere. If you look on the internet, it's a problem. We live under martial law, and we're not willing to face that we're living under martial law. Until we decide to know that this is martial law, we're going to have this problem. So we have to really, we march. We can march, but we need to change the law, and we need to know what we're fighting. We're fighting martial law. That's what we're fighting here. And as long as they got that, the reason why they wasn't prosecuted for that is because they said he had this Mountain Dew bottle. And this Mountain Dew bottle, it could be a gun or any type of weapon. And that's all they need to say. That's how they shot Michael Ellerby in the back, 12 years old at 2:30 in the afternoon. It's a shame to come back home and there's another march for another person that's been hurt by the police. So I hope we get together nationwide and stop martial law and them from brutalizing all of us. And there's a lot of Caucasian victims too, but you don't hear about them because they don't have the outlook. One time I was on the steps of the city county building. There was one man protesting for his brother. He was not black, but nobody was standing with him. And you didn't hear about it. And his brother was beaten and killed on the south side. Okay? Peace, family.
We have a lot of work to do. We have a lot of work to do. But we live in Pittsburgh. And we decide what goes on here. We do. We decide what goes on here. And that's what I want people to understand. I want people to understand the power that you possess. It is not up to them to dictate what happens to you. It is up to you to dictate what happens to them. You have to understand that. You dictate what happens to them. And the way you do that is by coming out. What I'm going to ask you to do, our next rally, for one, be there. For two, bring 20 people with you. Talk to your family, talk to your pastors, talk to your employer, talk to anybody you know about this, and bring people with you. The only way that we will see justice is if the city sees you. And you have to come out. I was told that specifically. The only way the DA will do anything about this is if he sees you. Because you are a number. You're a Social Security number, you're a vote, and you are tax dollars. You're numbers. You're not people to the city. You're numbers. So since they like numbers, we need to come out in numbers. Yeah. And that's what I am telling you to do. We have to come out in numbers. That's all they care about. Okay, we convened here to give everybody a chance to get here. But our purpose of being at the police station was to march and protest at the police station. So what we are going to do is we are going to walk in a peaceful manner, but in a very loud and protesting manner, from here over to the police station, around the parking lot. One or two of our members from APA will speak, and then we will come back here, and hopefully Mr. Rashad Birdsong will be here by then to speak to you. So you want to get everybody